Okay, we are live. There is no intro music. So, welcome to the show, everyone. And the 12th Horseshoe podcast, sponsored by Provo, an Italian eatery in Moonachie, New Jersey. From Indiana, and literally next to each other, Jack Rizzo, and on the bottom, Jason Lee. And if you see by the screens, they're literally next to each other. And in good old Jersey, I'm Elijah Weintraub. So, welcome everyone to the show. We got our week 4 recap, week 5 picks. How's Indiana, boys?
It's great. It's great. Like he said, go Hoosiers.
Yeah, hell yeah. Eighth in the country. Couldn't
Well,
be doing
go
any
Pirates,
better.
and it feels very awkward to see both of you like staring in the back of your heads, like I'm looking at both of your back heads at the same time, the top of your faces. So that's very interesting. Other than that, should be a great show though. So let's kick it off with our recap of week 4. We talked about Seahawks Cardinals last week. Seahawks took care of business 23-20. We go to that London game where the Steelers, they won 24-21. They kind of had it for the most part. It was kind of like going back and forth towards the end. The Steelers just pushed through, but I think the real star of the show was the Steelers defense that played a really important role in that game. I think that was one of the best performances for the Steelers defense, and I think that's what really helped the Steelers get that win down in Ireland that weekend. So who wants to start off first, Jack or Jason?
I'll start this one off. Yeah. The Steelers defense incredibly impressive. I mean, Carson Wentz was under pressure all game long. Had 2 interceptions. I think took 6 sacks. But the real story in this game was Kenneth Gainwell. With the Steelers having all those injuries at the running back position, Kenneth Gainwell comes in and has a 100-yard performance. An absolutely unbelievable showing from him. A guy who's never really been the top guy on any depth chart he's been on, and he just had an incredible game. I mean, that's an Arthur. That's really, you can't get more Arthur Smith than that. Your third string running back having a 100-yard game. Also shout out to Aaron Rodgers, who honestly has not looked that bad in the 4 games we've played. But I will say this: I'm not falling for the Steelers. I don't really think they're going to be that great of a team. I don't think they're going to win this division. I know it's a pretty weak division, but I still don't think they're going to. Mike Tomlin will find a way to choke it away. But impressive win for the Steelers. And for the Vikings, I don't really know what to think of them. Like, they've had 2 games, so they've looked really good, and they've looked really bad in the other 2 games. I think these next couple games will really show. Yeah, I think these next couple games really show what the Vikings are made of. But right now, it's hard to judge them.
Wishy-washy is a term. I think that's the term to use when you're talking about the Vikings. Jason, any thoughts?
Yeah, DK Metcalf's looking great too. 130 yards and a touchdown. Had that 80-yarder. TJ Watt's getting his first interception here. Steelers defense is looking great. I mean, 3-1. I mean, is it some voodoo magic? Is it Mike Tomlin, like Jack said, could choke it in the end? Right now, who cares? The Steelers are 3-1, and they're at the top of the AFC North, and it's looking good for them. As for the Vikings, I mean, they're looking fine. I mean, Carson Wentz is still having 350 yards in a game, which is serviceable. Justin Jefferson's having his usual stat line, but it's still looking troublesome for Minnesota.
All right. Well, we go now to the Commanders and the Falcons, where the tables have turned just a little bit. The Falcons went from losing the previous week to winning a football game. And you have the Commanders to losing a football game and the Falcons winning a game. It was a complicated story down in Atlanta. What happened? Well, Atlanta won that game 34-27. The final. Well, Jack and I got the pick wrong. And by the way, Jack got the Vikings pick wrong. I got the Steelers pick right. Jason did not have a pick for that week. So he'll just give his thoughts, though. But Falcons got a win. Jack, recap it for us.
Yeah, well, we finally saw from the Falcons offense what we thought we were getting from them at the start of the season. I mean, just everybody contributing. Bijan Robinson almost 200 yards. Drake London over 100 yards. Kyle Pitts finally starting to look like the number 4 draft pick he was in 2021. Michael Penix with a huge bounce back game after being benched last week. There's, I think, still a lot of questions around the Falcons defense. They didn't look particularly good this past week against Marcus Mariota, who honestly has done a pretty good job filling in for Jaden Daniels. I mean, the Commanders have scored 68 points over the last 2 weeks. I think that's more than a good enough job, but there's a lot of questions surrounding this Washington defense, and that was something I had concerns about coming into the season. I don't really think they have that much of a pass rush. I think their pass rush is definitely taking a step back. Their secondary is kind of getting picked apart right now, and as I said, I kind of said at the beginning of the season that I didn't think the Commanders were going to be as good as they were last year. Now, granted, they haven't had Jaden Daniels for the last 2 games, but at the end of the day, the quarterback is not the reason the Commanders lost these last 2 games, or they lost on Sunday. It's because of their defense, and they really have to get that straightened out. And also, all these injuries at wide receiver is a huge concern for Washington.
Jason?
Yeah, I mean, it's weird to look at the Falcons now. You're putting up 34 points after getting shut out by the Panthers, 30-0. This is a completely different Falcons team if you look at it. Like Washington, in our eyes, in the beginning of the year was a contender. They were supposed to try to keep up with Philly, try to get into the NFC playoff hunt. And here they are dropping a game to the Atlanta Falcons. I mean, Jaden Daniels, they're pretty banged up, but I feel like Washington, even with Jaden Daniels in the lineup, when he comes back eventually, he's got to get into that groove that we haven't seen this year. So Jaden Daniels has to get out of that sophomore slump that has become a theme for a lot of sophomores here in the NFL this year. I mean, the Falcons are pretty banged up in the secondary as well. I mean, who knows? I mean, the Falcons kind of played just outdueled the Commanders in this game, and there's nothing to argue about that.
All right. Well, let's go now. I think we could literally skip this game. And by the way, for both of our records, Jack and I both win 9-6-1, 2-1 on LSU. We'll talk about the tie in a little bit. We could literally skip this game if we wanted to because we knew this was going to happen. The Bills won 31-19. Jack got Survivor right. I got the lock right. The Bills won another game and they played the Saints. I mean, there's not much more I could really add there. Jack, anything you want to add?
I mean, I'll give credit to the Saints. They honestly kept it close with Buffalo for most of this game. I mean, this was a 2-point game in the fourth quarter. So shout out to New Orleans. I mean, I honestly think that Spencer Rattler has looked completely fine as the quarterback. Now, Josh Allen in the fourth quarter decided to take matters into his own hands because he put the Saints away basically by himself. But I know the Bills are 4-0, but it's not really that impressive of 4-0. I mean, the Bills are saying you're 4-0, but they could really be 1-3. I mean, they've had 3 really close games. And the last 2 against teams who are combined 1-7 right now. I think there's a lot for this Bills team to get straightened out, and they have a tough game next week against the New England Patriots, one that I think is going to test them. Meanwhile, for the Saints, I mean, they're 0-4, but in 3 of the 4 games, they've looked pretty solid. So maybe the Saints aren't as bad as we all thought, despite their record showing that. But I mean, at the end of the day, a win for the Bills, but I think they've got some stuff they really need to figure out soon.
Yeah,
Jason?
they don't look as bad as their 0-4 record shows, but I mean on paper they're pretty solid. They got a bunch of veterans. Is that gonna get you far in this league? Not really, but like I mean you're keeping up with these teams. You kept up with the Bills for 3 quarters. I mean, hats off to you. I mean, they got the Giants this week. I mean, they're pretty banged up themselves. So this will be like a real 4-quarter test for the Saints, if you ask me. I mean, will it be a shootout? I mean, honestly, who knows? But I think it honestly could be. I mean, can you imagine like Spencer Rattler versus Jackson Dart? Like it's 700-yard thriller, 40 points, 40 points. That'd be great.
That would be something.
But I
That'd be
think
funny.
it'll prove to be some a test for the Saints to see what really is what they're working with on Sunday against the Giants. But I mean, the Bills. I mean, it's gonna be a test, like Jack said on Sunday night against New England. So we'll find out what that looks like.
All right, we go now to the Titans and the Texans. The Titans are probably one of the 2 worst teams in the National Football League because they put up 0 points, 26-0, the final. But Jack and I got our picks right in that game, and the Titans are just a worse team, but the Texans, not what we expected from them this year, even though they got the win.
You have to feel bad for Cam Ward with the situation he's in right now. I mean, he has absolutely no help in Tennessee. He's got a horrible coaching staff, no weapons surrounding him, and a brutal offensive line. I mean, this was just one of the most uninspiring games I've seen from any NFL team over the last 5 years. Meanwhile, for the Texans, I mean, they really weren't even looking that good in this game until the end. But hey, a win is a win. I will say, Woody Marks, the rookie running back, has looked pretty good early in the season. I think he's now their top guy. I think he's going to overtake Nick Chubb, at least until Joe Mixon comes back. But CJ Stroud not looking that great. And I'm not really sure what we're going to expect from the rest of the season from the Texans. Like, they just do not look like the team they were the last 2 years, where they won the AFC South and made it to the divisional round each of the last 2 years.
Absolutely. And now we go, Jason. I forgot.
No,
Go
you're
to you.
good. He
Let's go
pretty
to you,
much
Jason.
summed it up. I mean, the Texans is a win. Yeah, sure, they're on the win column, but it's against the Titans. I mean, Cam Ward has got nothing. He's the most sacked quarterback right now in the league, and that's going to show pretty much how that season's going to play out unless change comes like that. But I think Houston is still. Who knows? I mean, they're 1-3 now. You're going to Baltimore, and there's no Lamar Jackson in that game on Sunday, so it'll be a toss up to see who comes out of that one on who comes out on top. But Houston needs to just lock in a little bit more.
All right, well, Jackson Dart, the new starting quarterback for the New York Giants, heads into the game in week 4 and gets the job done. He gets to win over the Los Angeles Chargers 21-18 the final. The question is Dart a one and done deal? Will they lose this week as they play the New Orleans Saints this weekend? Or is Dart the for real? And is New York going to be kind of saved as the rest of the season goes on? Was this just a lucky day for the New York Giants? Was Dart the savior? Or was it just the Chargers not playing
This
well?
is a really interesting game. It's hard to really take away much from this game, but I think one that you take away is that the Giants defense is really good. And that's something that they've shown in every game this year, except for the Dallas game. But I mean, even that, Dak Prescott just diced up the Packers defense, which we think is one of the best in the league. So maybe that Cowboys offense is just really good. But going back to the Giants, yeah, I mean, they had Justin Herbert looking flattered all game long. They had 2 interceptions. I think they lost a fumble as well. And, it was 21-18. The Chargers made it 21-18 going into the fourth quarter, but they just stalled on their final 3 drives. And give credit to Jackson Dart. He didn't really do too much in terms of stats, but he probably made a difference in this offense, had a rushing touchdown in there. How about Cam Scatterbo in the starts of the season he's had? He looks like an exceptional running back, and it looks like that those two have, reason to get the Giants excited. Obviously, they lost Malik Neighbors, which hurts the most in this game, out for the season with a torn ACL, latest victim of that MetLife turf. But yeah, really impressive win for the Giants. I mean, 0-3 versus 3-0. Meanwhile, for the Chargers, it's hard to understand this game. I mean, the Chargers started their season with 3 straight wins in the division, a division that looks like it's going to be pretty good this year. And then they just follow that up with losing to the Giants. I mean, it's a trap game. It was a trap game. I think the Chargers will still be fine. Maybe not, because their O-line is really hammered by injuries right now. But overall, even if the Giants don't do much this season, they can at least look back on this game, and it's a feel-good win for Jackson Dart and for the Giants, who have struggled so much over the last couple of years.
This was the game for the Giants. I mean, they clearly saw something in Jackson and Dart for them to trade back up into the first round to get him. And you can call it luck. You can call it a feel-good win. Jackson Dart is 1-0 in the National Football League in his first start. Now it'll be a real test without Malik Neighbors. Jackson Dart is banged up himself, but who knows with the New York Giants? Like Jack said, the defense looks pretty great, if you ask me. As for the Chargers, is it a fluke game? We don't know, but like I said earlier in the sophomore slump thing, Ladd McConkey, Ladd McConkey is struck. I think Quentin Johnston is clearly taking over wide receiver 1 right now in LA compared to Ladd McConkey, who was awesome last year. But again, that sophomore slump, Quentin Johnston, if you told me that a Chargers receiver had 24, 16, and 25 fantasy points in 3 weeks, I would tell you it's Ladd McConkey. No, it's Quentin Johnston. He's got his act together. That offense is riding with Quentin Johnston. Also, Amari and Hampton is looking great. 30-point fantasy game on Sunday. I mean, the Chargers offense has the pieces there. It was just execution. It was just, I don't know if, like I said, I don't know if it was a trap game, but it was execution, and it wasn't there.
Keenan Allen, too. Shout out Keenan Allen.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's go now to a surprise in New England. Panthers go from winning 1 week big. Then next week they come in and they are back to square one. They lose to the New England Patriots 42-13. I got the pick wrong. Jack got it right. Jack, what went wrong for the Carolina Panthers and what went right for the New England Patriots?
Well, first off, you clowned on me last week for picking the Giants over the Chiefs, but then you turn around and you pick the Panthers to beat the Patriots, and then the Panthers lose by 29 points.
Hold on.
29 points.
Make
29 points.
Can I just say something? Hold on, Jack.
Okay, go ahead.
Jackie,
go ahead.
Okay. They won the previous week.
That's
30-0.
Though.
How could you
the
not
Falcons
have
are? You never know what you're going to get from the Falcons.
And they won this week though against the Commanders.
What? Yeah, but no, you never know what's going to happen with the Falcons. So you can't really take a game against them with a grain of salt. But anyways, what a game for the Patriots.
Drake
May looks great in this game. But this is without a doubt the Patriots' most impressive win in the post-Bill Belichick era. Might be the most impressive Patriots win in the post-Brady era. They just completely dominated this game start to finish. Drake May, he's doing great for my fantasy team right now. So obviously I'm rooting for the Patriots a bit harder. But, Travion Henderson finally had himself a game. The defense looked great. Mike Vrabel's building a strong culture there in Foxborough, and I still think that this team could possibly push for a playoff spot this season. And as for Carolina, I mean, obviously it's tough playing 3 or first 4 on the road, but man, in those road games, I think just look really, really bad.
All right, before I get to you, Jason, I just want to say this. It's not the worst upset pick because they won the previous week. Just want to point that out. They're just so happy that they turned up and showed up to New England and only decided to put up 13 points. So it could be worse. It really could have been. They could have put it in only single digits like the Giants did with your upset pick. So let's just clarify that. Go ahead, Jason.
I mean, hey, in your defense, Eli, they did put up 13 points. I mean, hey, they
Versus
did
the
score
Giants, they only
points.
did
I
9.
mean, hey, they did score points. But hey, they did score a
The Giants
touchdown.
only did 9 when
They
Dak had his
scored a
upset.
touchdown. Hey, well, good for them.
So
But,
did the Giants, though, I should say.
I think though,
They had 9, Jack. 9.
in all seriousness, I mean, Bryce Young going on the road to Foxborough just did not sound like a fun fight, and it showed not to be a fun fight. The Patriots is it the Panthers? We don't know. But I think now with momentum like this, regardless of playing the Panthers or not, Patriots can go to Buffalo and shock the world. Because Buffalo, like Jack said, this could be a test for the Bills, and the Patriots could prevail. Who knows? But I think the Panthers, well, I don't know. At this point, it's like you win some and then you lose some. So I don't know what to say about the Panthers, but good win for the Patriots.
With that, we go to the Lions and the Browns, where the Lions took care of business, 34-10. The Browns just look bad, and I think that's pretty much what sums it up right there and then. And the Browns are bad. The Lions got the win, 34-10, the final.
I don't
Yeah,
think
go
the
ahead.
Browns would be bad if they had a quarterback and a good O-line because their defense had another great game on Sunday. I mean, I don't really think the 34 points is indicative of the way the Browns defense played. You know, they kept pace with the Lions offense, and that's something that's really impressive to say. I mean, shout out to the Lions defense. Calvin Shepard's done an unbelievable job in his first year as the defensive coordinator. And that loss to the Packers in week 1 feels like a lifetime ago. This Lions team, they're back. Dan Campbell's got them playing really well, and they're going to be just fine. And they have a very good shot of winning this division again this year. Just a testament to how good of a coach Dan Campbell is.
All right,
Yeah,
Jason?
I mean, the Lions, like Jack said, that Packers game was looking like a fluke. I mean, the Lions are here. Their offense is looking great. Defensively, they're getting it going. I'll say shout out Quinshon Judkins. I think he's found his footing in the NFL in his rookie year. So I feel like, though, I mean, who knows with the Browns? They have clearly handed the reins over to a rookie quarterback. It's not Shador Sanders. It's Dylan Gabriel on Sunday morning. But we'll see how that offense works with the new quarterback. I mean, he's not like a really young quarterback. He's a veteran. He's been around the block in college football for a while, so like he knows some aspect of pro football essentially. So I think that the Browns could be a sneaky team to watch out for on Sunday morning against Minnesota, because Minnesota doesn't look that great, but I think Lions are a team to watch out for, and the NFC North looked one way for the first couple of weeks, and now it's looking like a complete other direction right now.
Yeah, indeed. Well, we go to a great game. The Eagles took care of business with the Buccaneers, 31-25, the final. What a great game that was, and fly, Eagles, fly, as they start the season 4-0 heading into week number 5.
Yeah, this was
Jack?
without a doubt the game of the Sunday afternoon window. What a game between these two teams. I mean, the Eagles jumping out to the 24-3 lead, but Tampa Bay just fighting back like they do in every single game. You have to give a lot of credit to Baker Mayfield. He just does not quit out there. Shout out to Chase McLaughlin, too. Hit a 65-yarder and a 58-yarder in this game. But ultimately, the Bucs just dug themselves into too deep of a hole. They had a couple of chances late, but a Baker Mayfield interception in the red zone, and then the Bucs final drive stalled out. Again, you can't dig yourself into 24-3 holes and expect to win every time. I think the Bucs are still great, though, and I think they'll be just fine. But a nice, tough win for the Eagles. I mean, I know they're 4-0, but they have 4 one-possession wins. You know, they could easily be sitting here 2-2, 0-3, or 1-3. I'm sorry. They have a lot to figure out, I think, on offense. I mean, where is AJ Brown been? He's just not looked present at all in this offense. And even Saquon Barkley has just not looked like the offensive player of the year he was last year. So a lot to figure out on the Eagles then. But they are 4-0, and they still have plenty of time to figure this out. And the fact they are 4-0, despite maybe not playing their best just shows how good of a team they are and why they're the defending Super Bowl champions.
No question. Jason, go ahead.
Absolutely. I mean, like Jack said, AJ Brown, they brought him in to be this star. He has been had some great moments in Philly, but this year between the offense is not looking great so far. I mean, hey, they finally got it together. They finally went to Tampa Bay and won in the Jalen Hurts era. They finally won in Tampa Bay, but I think I don't know what it is with the Eagles. I mean, it's not the same convincing offense, defense that we saw last year when they went on to win the Super Bowl. So I don't know. I think the Bucks can look past this. I mean, they're still in a good spot. They're 3-1. They do have a tough outing in Seattle on Sunday afternoon. But I think that I think Philly is there's still a lot to be said about the offense and defense right now in Philadelphia, and we'll see if they get it together.
All right. Well, we will talk about that Buccaneers Series game in just a little bit. We go now to the Colts and the Rams. The Colts lose their first game, and that's because of the Rams. And the Rams took care of business 27-20. But this Colts team, they're a team to watch out for. They're a team that could easily win the division now, potentially go for the playoffs, maybe are Super Bowl contenders, maybe. Well, we'll just see how that this weekend goes. But the Rams did get the victory, but this Colts team is promising.
I wouldn't go as far to say the Colts are a Super Bowl contender yet, but I think they definitely are the most complete team in the division. I mean, listen, the Colts just ran into their match this week. The Rams might be the best team in the NFC. Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua is the offensive player of the year right now. Their defense is incredible. It was a tough task for the Colts coming in. And, despite the fact they made so many mental errors in this game, the drop fumble through the end zone, several costly penalties, having 10 guys on the field on the Rams' final offensive play. Despite all that, they still only lost by 7. I think that's a testament to the competitive nature of this Colts team. And I think as I said, this feels like a different team, different year. Obviously we're still early in the season. Things could still come crashing down. But with the way Jonathan Taylor's played, with the way Daniel Jones has played, I definitely think this Colts team could compete. But again, give credit to the Rams. They're a great football team. They basically have no weaknesses. It was great. It's great to see them playing well. I always like to see Matthew Stafford playing well. And the Rams are without doubt it's debatable, but I think they are still probably the best team in the NFC West right now.
All right,
They are
Jason,
keeping up with the Niners right now. It's now a one-possession game here before the first half ends as we're live. But like Jack said, the Rams, they're great. The Colts, they gave it all. Their all. I mean, they played them close, which was what we expected based on the performance of the Indianapolis Colts this year. I mean, Jonathan Taylor still looking great. He could have had a silencer touchdown in the end of the game, but it got called back, a costly penalty to the Colts. Costly decisions by the Colts. I mean, we're still in the fact that they're 3-1 and Daniel Jones has pretty much revived his career. Somehow, some way, he revived his career. And I don't know if it's the coaching, the play calling, the fact that he has a decent team around him, but the Colts are great. I think the Rams, regardless, they're 3-1. They could move on and hope it goes well right now against San Fran. But even then, I still think they're in a great spot.
Well, I just want to point out, though, if you leave New York, your career is saved. Look at the players that did leave. Daniel Jones is one of them. Saquon Barkley is another one and won a Super Bowl with the Eagles. And now you have Sam Darnold, who's with Seattle and hasn't been so bad so far. And even his run previously with Minnesota wasn't so bad either. Remember, he was
Geno Smith too before this year.
Point out, Geno Smith too, except this year. But leaving New York is a saving factor for your career if you think about it. We do have a comment for Fabiana. She says it's so silly that they're literally across the room from each other. It's funny. Well, thanks for tuning in. So we go to our next game now. We're going to go ahead and talk about the Jaguars and the 49ers. The Jaguars, they won 26-21. Are they underrated? Is that the question that we have to ask ourselves? I got the pick right. Jack got it wrong. But Jack, is this Jaguars team for real? Should we be watching out for them? Or is this just, sometimes they'll get lucky, sometimes they won't?
It's still early in the season, but I think something that's not debatable is Liam Cohen. I think that guy is an unbelievable head coach. He's just built a really good culture there in Jacksonville. They are 3-1 and they're playing. Their last 2 wins have both been one-score close wins, but hey, they're finding a way to win these close games. That's a testament to what Liam Cohen has done. I mean, this is, if Doug Peterson was still the coach, they would not have won these last 2 games. I think the offense is still very questionable. I'm not really sure if Trevor Lawrence is the guy at quarterback. Brian Thomas Jr. has just not really done much this year after a great rookie season. Travis Hunter still hasn't really gotten involved. It's nice to see Travis Etienne finally starting to play well after a tough season last year, but this Jags defense is for real. I mean, they have taken the ball. I think they forced at least 3 turnovers in every game this year. This defense is taking the ball away at a high rate, and if the offense can just be half decent, this Jags team's going to win a lot of games. And I really think we should get comfortable with saying the Colts are the best team in this division because the Jags are playing just as well, if not better. And I'm excited to see these two teams play down the road. They won't play until week 14, but these will look like the two teams that are compete for the AFC South this year.
Yeah, the
Jason.
Jags are looking excellent this year. I mean, who would have thought that this team is I think they're 3-1? Is that a
Yeah.
real thing? Yeah, I mean they're looking great. Travis Hunter, he's developed a little bit, and we're on both sides of the ball really. But I think the Jaguars are someone to be contending with. Who would have thought Houston is pushed to the back of the line in the AFC South this year, and Jacksonville and Indy are fighting for a crown right now if the season were to end today. But I think the fact that San Fran, I mean, they got a lot of problems. They're banged up right now. The whole
They are.
receiving room is on the shelf. Kittle's on the shelf. Purdy's on the shelf. It's Bosa's on the shelf. It's like they didn't go to MetLife and get injured. That they didn't do that. They didn't do that this time.
I don't know.
They all just got injured in their own separate ways. But I feel like they're 3-1 right now. Mac Jones has been putting up 250 yards in each of his last couple starts. But who knows? I mean, the Niners are a big question mark now with all these injuries, and they did not prove it. Robert Saleh's back in town, but Robert Saleh and the Niners defense did not show up against Jacksonville.
All right, well, we go now to the Ravens and the Chiefs. And Jack mentioned this prior to his pick last week. The Ravens cannot win big games, and it showed. 37-20 was the final. Well, Jack and I got the pick wrong. The Chiefs got the victory, but are the Chiefs for real, or was this just another one of those, okay, well, here's a lucky game we decide to win because the Ravens just can't win big games? That is the big question that is asked this week. Jack, what are your thoughts on the Chiefs getting a win and the Ravens blowing another one?
Well, this was very reminiscent of the old Chiefs team that we used to see before they traded away Tyreek Hill. I mean, Xavier Worthy made such a huge difference in this offense, averaging 17 yards per touch on Sunday. Absolutely unbelievable stuff from him. Obviously, the Ravens are completely decimated with injuries right now, but that doesn't take away anything from the Chiefs' win against them. I mean, their defense had multiple turnovers on Lamar Jackson before he got hurt in this game, and as I said, this was the most impressive Chiefs win in quite a while. They finally won a game dominantly and not by one score, some crazy play at the end. That 0-2 start has quickly evaporated, and the Chiefs are back to 2-2. And, with the Chargers losing and with the Broncos looking a bit inconsistent right now, they are right back in the hunt for the AFC West Division title. And it's hard to not pick the Chiefs to win the division considering, Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes and what they've done. So overall, the Chiefs have done a great job quickly erasing that 0-2 start, and they are right back to where they've been the last couple of years.
All right.
Yeah, the
Jason.
Chiefs are. I don't know. They're here. I mean, they're here. I mean, it's not the same scenarios and situations we've had a year ago. But you beat the Ravens by 3 possessions. We can't discredit that at all. Patrick Mahomes looks fine. I mean, 4 touchdowns. Xavier Worthy's back, and it showed. He was their leading rusher and receiver. So shout out to him. Ravens right now. Whoa. Lamar's down. Lamar's out for 2 to 3 weeks. And I mean, hey, I'll speak from Cooper Rush starting on my team. Cooper Rush has done pretty good as a starting quarterback. I will speak from experience. However, this is a different team. It's a different offense. Zay Flowers kind of needs to step it up a little bit. Derrick Henry. Where was Derrick Henry on Sunday? It wasn't the leading rusher. Justice
I don't
Hill
know.
took a brunt of the carries. 3 carries for 75 yards and a touchdown. I mean, Justice Hill looks great. The Ravens defense is banged up. Namande Madubuike is on the shelf. the secondary, Kyle Hamilton just went on the shelf. Like it's going to be a tough road for the Ravens. I mean, we thought the Texans looked pretty bad, and the Ravens look just as bad. So it could be a really a rough game for both teams on Sunday. So we'll have to see. But hats off to the Chiefs; they're back.
And we'll talk about that in just a little bit. But now we go to the Raiders, who lose another one as they lose to the Bears. Final score 25-24. And it was just one of those weird games that we really didn't know which way it was going to go. And it turned out the Bears were going to win this one. And the Bears did. They got the victory. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah,
Jack?
well, I mean, it's pretty telling. I mean, Ashton Jetty over 150 scrimmage yards, 3 touchdowns, and the Raiders still found a way to lose this game. But give credit to Ben Johnson, man. Similar to the Chiefs, the Bears have quickly erased an 0-2 start with back-to-back wins. I mean, they dominated Dallas last week, and then they went on the road and won a tough road game against the Bears. I mean, Ben Johnson already has more road wins on Sundays than Matt Eberflus did in his entire time as the Bears head coach. Matt Eberflus was 0-18 in road Sunday games as the Bears head coach. Ben Johnson is now 1-1. But again, the Bears found a way. Their offense struggled in the first half. I mean, this game was 14-9 at halftime, and the Bears managed to put up 16 points in the second half. Shout out to Chicago, man. I mean, the culture looks like it's changed. The Caleb Williams looked pretty good. Justin Blackwell blocking the field goal at the end of Josh Blackwell, I'm sorry, blocking the field goal in the fourth quarter to win the Bears the game. Tables have turned. They've won on a blocked field goal instead of a team blocking a field goal on them. But the Bears are looking pretty solid. I'm still not ready to say this team is a playoff team or if they're even like an above average team, but I'm starting to see the vision now with Ben Johnson. And I think in a year or two down the road, the Bears are going to be dangerous in the NFC.
They could be indeed. Jason, go ahead.
The Bears are here now. They're 500. Caleb Williams, he's looking fine. The run game is still a little left to be desired, but I feel like the offense is clicking. Roman Dunze and the young offense are gumming it together. The defense looks great. I mean, another 3 interception game from Geno Smith again. This is the same Geno Smith that had 350 yards and 3 touchdowns and went to New England and won. This is the same Geno Smith. This is the same Raiders offense. Shout out Ashton Jeanty. Welcome to the league. Ashton Jeanty's here, and Ashton Jeanty is most likely going to stay on this path. But the Raiders are going to rely heavily, most likely, on Ashton Jeanty on Sunday in Indianapolis. But Geno Smith right now, I don't think. Is there anybody else? Is the question. We have 6 You have 6 interceptions in 2 out of the 4 games combined. So there needs to be some light out of Geno Smith. I know Pete Carroll's there, but Pete Carroll can only do so much.
All right. Well, let's go now to our next game. The Packers, the Cowboys. That game went to overtime, and it ended in a tie. Tied at 40. We don't have a winner. It was a tie. Tied at 40. I have to just say this one note. What a great game. Second note, can we get rid of the ties in the NFL?
I hope so.
Because this is an absolute joke. Was such a great game. If this game continued on to another overtime or another few overtimes, that would have been one heck of a story to tell. Would have been one heck of a game to recap in the morning. That would have been awesome. Instead, no, we got a tie. This is not soccer. This is the NFL. Can we stop with the ties and play football? Can you go on to 15 overtimes? Who cares? College football does it in the postseason and the regular sometimes. You got to go ahead and get rid of these ties, the NFL. This is a joke. It doesn't happen often. We didn't have one last year, but this year we have a tie, and it did not help. It just made it worse, and now this is going to mess up both these teams come playoff time. Not so much the Cowboys, depending on how they will go in the rest of the season, but from the Packers standpoint, it'll mess them up for sure in terms of winning division, potentially even placement spots in terms of their division. So this is just a really annoying thing. I hate this whole tie rule, but it was a great game though. Jack, we tied, so go ahead.
Well, I'll let Jason do most of the explaining for this one. But I mean, just shout out to Dak Prescott and Jordan Love for both having over 300 yards in this game. Romeo Doubs with 3 touchdown passes. George Pickens having some incredible catches. He's looked great so far. in Dallas. But what a crazy game! I mean, what a classic run, classic showdown here between these two teams. And as I said, I'm still frustrated about the time, but it was a great game. This is definitely one of the best games of the year. And both two week 1, week 4 Sunday Night Football, two of the best games of the year, both with at least 40 points from both teams.
Should the NFL get rid of the tie?
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
the question.
Yeah,
Jason?
like you said, Eli, this isn't soccer. You don't get points for tying, right? You don't get points. It's not like the tie is meaningful in the regular season in the NFL. Shout out to both quarterbacks, shout out to both offenses, but like we can look at this from a lot of ways. The Packers were a touchdown favorite. They were expected to come into Dallas and blow them out. So no one expected Dallas to put up 40 points, which is interesting now that both Dallas home games, they've put up 40 points in overtime. So that's where we are. So it says to you that every Dallas game is going to be a heart attack. That's literally what it is. Every game is going to be a heart attack, clearly, because you look at the 2 wins, they're less than they're a win and a tie. Or you look at the 2 games at home, a win and a tie. You went to overtime twice. You lost by 20-24 to Philly. Like the Bears game is a wash right now, but I mean, it's a really interesting situation because you got the Jets on Sunday with Dallas, and who knows? Are we looking at a 38-35 thriller at MetLife? Like the offense looks great. I don't think the offense is far from the problem. The run game is answered. The George Pickens has took CeeDee Lamb his absence and ran with it. I don't think CeeDee Lamb is going to be missed on Sunday against the Jets. Now that George Pickens is putting up these numbers, Dak's putting up numbers. It's a matter of if the defense doesn't give up a touchdown. That's the thing. Dak can't put. It's Dak always playing from behind or a tie. That's it every single time, and Dak will do Dak things. They'll put up 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. It's just a matter of if the defense will prevent a bunch of games from going down to the wire. And as for the Packers, this looks like more of a stain on their resume. I mean, Micah Parsons got his sack, but I think Josh Jacobs and Romeo Doubs combined for 5 touchdowns. The offense is great. I mean, it's just simple things. The last drive in overtime, I'm sorry. The way that went, you got to the inside the 30-yard line within 3-4 plays. Like, I think Matt LaFleur's clock management is next to awful. That 1 second came from high above. That 1 second and that 1 field goal came from high above, because if that play was not plotted correctly in some aspects, we'd be looking at a different game, and Green Bay's 500 and Dallas is 500. So we'll never know. They both tied, but I will say in the context that Dallas, it looks a lot better for Dallas.
All right, well, let's go to the Jets, who might be the worst football team along with the Tennessee Titans. They start the season now 0-4 heading into week number 5. They lose to the Dolphins 27-21. The Dolphins got the win because they play the New York Jets. Will they win the next game? That's a big question to ask. But for the meantime, the Dolphins got the win and the Jets are not looking good. Jack?
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this about the Jets. Give them time. Here's the thing with Aaron Glenn, their coach. He's a Dan Campbell disciple. Dan Campbell's first year in Detroit, they started the season 0-10-1, and they finished the season 3-13-1. Sometimes it just takes time to build culture, and I think the Jets are showing more heart in these games. I mean, we saw they almost beat Tampa Bay in week 2. They almost beat the Steelers. They have had 3-4. They're 0-4, but they have 3 one-possession losses. I just think it's going to take some time. I don't really have much to say about the Dolphins. I mean, Tyreek Hill's out for the year. I don't think they're going to be that good. I really think that the Mike McDaniel's probably going to be gone soon. I just don't really think this win is going to do anything for them. I think the ship is really sinking there in South Florida. But as I said, people are going to look at the 0-4 Jets, start for the Jets and say same old Jets. But they were doing the same thing with the Lions in 2021 and saying same old Lions. Give it time. I trust Aaron Glenn to turn things around. Maybe not this year, but maybe in the next couple of years.
You said the comment about Hill, and you're absolutely right. And it's going downhill in South Florida because when Tyreek Hill was leaving and he was spotted by video in the ambulance and also leaving the field, he had a smile on his face like that was
He
the
doesn't want to
greatest
play with
thing that
Tua
ever happened to
anymore.
him that he got hurt, which it doesn't make sense. That really,
I
to
mean,
me,
it kind of
shows that
does.
there's
Nobody wants
something
to play with
wrong down in
Tua.
Miami or just in Miami in general.
That's
So
true too.
that's a problem right there. Um, but yeah, that was just a strange sight to see. But go ahead, Jason,
Yeah.
and
The
cross this game.
Dolphins and the Titans right now, Mike McDaniel and Callahan in Tennessee, it's going to be a competition on who gets fired first, it looks like. But yeah, Tyreek Hill is happy he's out. And I would be too if my team is playing like that. I mean, their one win came against the where did it come? Last week? Last week they picked up their first win, I believe.
Who is this?
The Dolphins.
Yeah, this past week against the Jets. Yeah.
Yeah, they picked up or yeah, they picked up their first win against the Jets now. I think that they still have a ways to go, especially now. Jalen Waddle's got to step up. Devin Achan's doing great. Tua's fine. I mean, who knows for the Jets? Here, Jets fans, I'll give you hope. The last time the Dallas Cowboys and the Jets played at MetLife, the Jets were winless, and you got your first win in 2019. Sam Darnold was 0-6, and they won. Justin Fields is 0-4, and and Dallas's defense is atrocious. So if there's any time for you to step up and win a game, it is now. But it is.
Yeah.
But Justin Fields, okay, here's the thing. Justin Fields is fine, but you cannot go far in this league if your quarterback is your leading passer and rusher in almost every game this season. Brees Hall has got to step up. Braylon Allen's on the shelf. So now it's Brees Hall or bust in the run game, unless you just want to keep going with Justin Fields, which seems to be working somehow. He's getting 80 yards in a game and a touchdown on the ground, and he's getting touchdowns through the air. Garrett Wilson's fine, but I feel like a bunch of the young guys got to step up, and I feel like like Jack said, I'm not worried about Aaron Glenn at all. Aaron Glenn's fine. I think the culture just needs to. It's just when that shift happens, it's gonna click. And right now it's not, but it could click in a few days. So who knows?
Well, let's go to our final game to recap. The Broncos took care of business with the Bengals 28-3, the final. Bo, Jack, and I got the pick right, but this Bengals team can't really do much without Joe Burrow, and that is the bottom line. Broncos got the win, but again, they're playing a beat-up Bengals team. There's not much more to add. We have picks coming up in just a little bit, so stay tuned for that. But Jack, go ahead, recap.
Yeah, I'm
This
not
game
going to
for
spend
us.
too much time here. The Bengals, if the Bengals want, the Bengals can compete in this division with the way it's been so far. Trade for a veteran quarterback. Trade for a Jameis Winston. Trade for a Kirk Cousins. Go sign Ryan Tannehill. Do something other than put Jake Browning out there every single week. Now, granted, the O-line isn't going to really help any quarterback, but at least have somebody out there who will be able to get the ball to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, because Jake Browning is killing both of them right now. And the Bengals are just not fun to watch. Thank goodness the NFL flexed them out of their next two nationally televised games, so you don't have to suffer watching those. But man, is it rough to watch Cincinnati right now on national TV every week. And then for Denver, they didn't even have to do anything to win this game. Their defense basically did everything. The offense was fine. They're still a work in progress, though, and that's all I've got for that game.
Yeah, Bo
Jason.
Nix is still a work in progress this year. I haven't really seen enough for Bo Nix to be like, wow, he's a really a borderline elite quarterback here. But I think the run game is solid. J.K. Dobbins is doing great. The offense is fine. They just needed to be fine in this game. The problem with Cincinnati, it was going from last year. Joe Burrow was there, and it's the situation with Dallas last year with Cincinnati. It was Joe Burrow and the offense doing everything they can to put up 40 points, but they were always playing from behind. Every game was 40-38, 45-35, 45. It was always something. Now, Joe Burrow is gone, and now they are blowouts. It's not even close. Jake Browning, get somebody in there. Get Russell Wilson. If Jackson Dart pulls away, Russell Wilson's there. Go after Russell Wilson. He'll be fine. I mean, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins are not looking great right now, but that's at the strength of Jake Browning and Chase Brown. Ouch. Chase Brown last year was great. A lot of people picked him up in fantasy thinking he was going to be a stud. Chase Brown is significantly behind the eight ball when it comes to carries before contact, and he's not putting up great numbers after contact either. So Chase Brown has left the building, and so have the Bengals clearly.
All right, well, that's it for our week 4 recap. Let's go to week 5 picks. Jack, take it away.
All right, let's get into it with the predictions for week 5. Well, the 49ers and Rams are playing right now. It's 17 to 7.5. Eli and I both took the Rams, though, to win this game. Eli scores 28 to 20. My score was 26 to 19. Let's get right into the Sunday slate. We're starting off early again. London this time, 9:30 NFL Network from forgot the name of the stadium. Tottenham. That's it. Tottenham Stadium.
Come
Yeah.
on, him.
The Vikings
Yeah.
are playing the Browns. Second
From
straight
London.
international game for the Vikings. Minnesota favored by 3.5, but I'm not buying it. I'm taking the Cleveland Browns for my upset pick of the week, 18 to 15. I love the way their defense is playing. Carson Wentz has just looked flabbergasted. He looked like that against Pittsburgh's defense, and Cleveland's defense is going to give him the same problem. So give me the Browns. I don't trust the Vikings right now. Jason, I'll go to you.
Whoa! All right, Dylan Gabriel is getting his first win according to Jack. I don't think so. I think the Vikings defense just has to be fine, and they'll get a win. That's all it is. I'll go low scoring as well because Carson Wentz did not look that all impressive. I'll go 20 to 16. We'll take it against the Cleveland Browns, Minnesota.
Eli?
Well, I'm going with the Minnesota Vikings 24-16. They're a wishy-washy team. One day they'll do good, one day they're not. Ireland didn't work out for them. The luck wasn't on their side. But now they're in London. Does the luck change? I think it does. Give me the Vikings 24-16.
All right, let's go to the 1 o'clock slate. We got the Texans facing the Ravens, 1 p.m. on CBS. I don't really even know what I want to do for this game because Lamar Jackson's probably not going to play. But with the way the Texans have looked, I'm going to take the Ravens 20 to 13. I have no confidence in that pick, but Baltimore's home. I'll take the Ravens. How about you, Eli?
It's one of those weird games to pick, but for these reasons, I'm going with the Ravens 26-23.
Jason?
Yeah, I'll go Baltimore as well. The home field, I believe, they're home, right? Yeah, it's the home field. I think regardless of Lamar Jackson or not, the Texans defense is rough still. I think there's a lot to be said about this whole team. Like, CJ Stroud mathematically should have a better chance because Lamar Jackson isn't playing. But I think Cooper Rush is serviceable. I think Cooper Rush having that veteran presence. It'll be a little bit low scoring. I'll go 23 to 20 Baltimore.
Well, Jason, I have to disagree with you on the Texans defense. They haven't given up more than 20 points in a game this season, so I don't think they've been the problem at all. I think it's their offense that's really been the problem in H-Town. Next up, let's go to New Orleans. The Giants are facing the Saints. This is another one on CBS. The Giants are favored by 1.5. I honestly think this is a pretty good game for an 0-4 versus a 1-3 team, but I'm going to take the New York Giants to win 17 to 14. Low scoring game. I think Jackson Dart gets to 2-0 as a starter. Yeah, give me the Giants. How about you, Jason?
Yeah, I'll go with the Giants too, but I think this is going to be a weird one because this is Jackson Dart's first test without Malik Neighbors, Wan'Dale Robinson has stepped up numerous times throughout the year. He had a great game in Dallas, so maybe he'll have another good game on the road here. I'll go with the Giants 19 to 14. Weird score, but I think it'll be something. It'll either be a very boring game and then it'll just click, or it'll just be a couple touchdowns here, a couple punts here, but I'll take the Giants to come out on top.
I am going with the New York Giants here. I think you cannot trust the Saints team. I think Jackson Dart goes to 2-0, 17-16, and a low scoring. And by the way, you got 4 teams on bye.
Yeah, that's right.
Week.
The Falcons, Bears, Packers, Steelers all have bye weeks this week. Next up, let's go to Philly. The Broncos taking on the Eagles, 1 p.m. on CBS. I think this will be a really good challenge for the Broncos to see where they're at as a football team. But this game is in Philly, so I'm going to take the Eagles 27 to 20. It's going to be another one-score game, but the Eagles just know how to win one-score games. They just know how to win games in general. They're 20-1 over the last 21 games. So give me the Eagles here. Pretty easy pick for me. How about you, Eli?
Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory, because you cannot go to Philadelphia and expect to win big. That is not just a situation. That's not how that works. Give me Philadelphia. Fly, Eagles, fly, 28-24.
Jason?
Yeah, Bo Nix going to Philly scares me. I think it'll be a little close. but I think it's going to be, I'll go 24-16 Philadelphia. I think Denver's defense will do something. They are proven to be one of the better defenses in the NFL. So I think Denver against the Philly offense that really hasn't exploded yet. I will say they haven't really exploded yet this season like we expected them to. So I think it'll be a little low scoring in the end, but I think Philly will prevail because I just think the Philly, the atmosphere, it'll be tough for Bo Nix and the Broncos offense to get some points.
All right, let's move on to MetLife Stadium. The Cowboys are facing the Jets, 1 p.m. on Fox. Dallas is favored by 2.5 here, and yeah, I'm going to take the Cowboys to win 24-10. I think they get their second win of the season, their first road win. The Jets just don't really look that great right now. As I said, I believe in Eric Glenn to change the culture, but it's not going to happen yet. So it's not going to be deja vu for the Cowboys at facing the Jets in MetLife. So give me the Cowboys here, Jason.
It ain't gonna be a problem for Dallas. However, this is where we're looking at the scores. Dallas has allowed 20, 37, 31, and 40 in their 4 games. So, in sight of that, I have yet to see Matt Eberflus and the defense get their act together. So I'm going to still take Dallas, but I'll go the thriller route. I'm going to go 38-30. I'm going to do that because I just think the Dallas offense is just far superior than the Jets defense. So I think Dallas's offense will prevail in this game, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's a thriller, and that's where I'm going to go. I'm going to go 38-30 in favor of Dallas.
All right, I'm going to go in this one. Dallas 22-18. I cannot trust this New York Jets team, and they're going to go 0-5 to start the season, and a lot of questions will be asked on Monday.
All right, let's move on to the Raiders taking on the Colts. I'm gonna be at this game in downtown Indy, 1 p.m. on Fox. The Colts are favored by 6.5. What'd you say, Eli? Yep.
I said, all right.
It's gonna be an interesting game. I mean, the Colts. A lot of people are expecting the Colts to win this game big. I think the Colts win, but I don't really think it's that big of a win. I think it's a 7-point win, 23-16. This just feels like one of those weird games where the Raiders are going to find a way to stick around. Like, I think Pete Carroll still has it in him. I think Geno Smith is going to protect the football better this week. The Colts have struggled. Their Colts run defense has struggled, so I think actually Gentile will probably see the end zone this week. But I think the Colts will prevail mainly because of they're way stronger in the trenches than the Raiders have been this season, and the Colts are home, so I think Indianapolis will win it. I'm going to take it for my survivor pick of the week. Eli, I'll go to you.
Is that your first game, by the way,
Yes.
Lucas Oil? Well, good luck and enjoy
Thank
the
you.
game. I hope you have a great time. That's awesome for you. Yeah, I can't trust this Raiders team. Gave me the Colts survivor pick of the week, 32-12.
Jason?
I'll take the Colts. I'm right with the majority here. I'll go 30. I'll go 33-18. This Raiders offense at the strength of Ashton Genty. However, Geno is looking terrible right now, and Geno against this Colts defense, I think the Colts defense just has to be okay, and they will come away with the win. I think the Raiders defense, they got some bright spots, but Jonathan Taylor can run all day over them. The offense is looking great. Daniel Jones is looking like a superstar. All right with the Colts and a blowout win.
All right, let's move on to Carolina. We got the toilet bowl between the Dolphins and the Panthers. This is 1 p.m. on Fox. Miami favored by 1.5, but you know what? Screw that. I'm going to take the Carolina Panthers 22-17. The Panthers just play better when they're at home, and losing Tyreek Hill is a big loss, obviously, for their offense. So I think the Panthers have got this one. Who'd I go? Jason.
We're going to go with Carolina 21-20. I think it'll just be that kind of game. And yeah, I have nothing to say. Whoever just comes out on top, it's the toilet bowl. So shout out Eric Collins on the call, the Charlotte Hornets basketball announcer. So shout out him. He'll be on the call. So maybe we'll get a crazy Carolina play, but who knows? But yeah, I'll go with Carolina. I just think right now they're the better team.
I'm going to go with Carolina as well. Give me 22-21 the final. This Miami team just got lucky last year because they play the Jets, but they can't get lucky again. 22-21 the final.
All right, moving on from that, we're into the late window now. Titans Cardinals 4:05 on CBS in the desert. Arizona favored by 9.5. That's the biggest of the week. And yeah, I think the Cardinals will win this game pretty easily, 27-7. I don't really care how they've looked. The Titans have just looked like complete garbage. So give me the Cardinals here, 27-7 over the Titans. Eli?
The Titans look awful, and I cannot pick them. Give me the Arizona Cardinals 26-12, the
Jason?
final.
No words for the Tennessee Titans. I think Arizona gets their emphatic win. I'll go 28-3. Arizona.
All right, next up, this could be game of the week. 4:05 on CBS. We got the Buccaneers and the Seahawks. Battle of 3-1. I am super excited to watch this game.
I'm
The Seahawks
excited
are
too.
favored by 3 in this game. You've got two really good teams going up against each other. The Bucs offense against the Seahawks defense is gonna be a fun one to watch. I am super excited for this game. This game could really go either way, but you know what? I really believe in home field advantage. So because of that, give me the Seattle Seahawks at home to go to 4-1 and beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 27-24. I think there's some question marks about injuries on this Tampa Bay offense. Bucky Irving is banged up. Baker Mayfield's still not 100%. Even Emeka Buka was on the injury report last week. Mike Evans won't be back. So I think there's some questions there. And I think, as I said, I think Seattle will really. I think the home field advantage is real, and I think Seattle will be able to win this game. It's going to be a close one, but it's a big game for the wild card standings early on in the season, and ultimately, I think Seattle takes care of business. Eli, how about you?
The issue is with this game, and I'm going to start off with Seattle. Home field advantage matters. Absolutely. There's no question asked about that. The defense, not phenomenal. You cannot argue that it's one of the best right now in the league. But this offense is wishy-washy. One week they do great. The next week they don't do great. The Buccaneers are coming off of a loss to the Philadelphia Eagles, and I think that they're going to go to Seattle. They're going to take care of business and get a win. Buccaneers 26-24.
Jason?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Seattle here. Wow, Eli picking against his own team here. I'm gonna go with
Wow.
Seattle. I believe the Lumen Field's gonna be rocking. I think Sam Darnold, even under pressure against a team like the Bucks, I think he can prevail. I think JSN is now due for a great game after having a slow one last week in Arizona. I will say, though, Tampa's going to keep it close. I'm going to go. Where should I go? I'll go 30-27 Seattle.
All right, I like it. Next up, the Lions facing the Bengals, 4:25 on Fox. Thank goodness this game was moved out of the national TV slot, and now it's just going to be on. Yeah, it's just going to be on local TV. Thank goodness. The Lions are favored by 8.5, and yeah, give me the Lions 31-13. Lock it in for my lock of the week. And you know what? Lions defense, 5 turnovers on the Bengals on Sunday. And you know what? Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch combined for 4 interceptions. That's all I've got to say. Give me the Lions.
Wow. Okay. That's an interesting one. Yeah, I'll ride with the Lions here. No questions asked on this one. They don't have anything to prove, anything to lose here. Where they're going to seek and destroy is the message in Detroit, in Cincinnati. I'll go Lions 35-7.
Eli?
Well, I can't trust this Bengals team, and as you said, it's seek and destroy. Give me the Lions 24-9.
Okay, now what is America's Game of the Week on Fox? The Commanders facing the Chargers. If Jaden Daniels is back, it's a great America's Game of the Week. If not, then it's not a good America's Game of the Week. But it looks like Jaden Daniels will be back. The doctors have cleared him. The Chargers are favored by 2.5. And yeah, I think it's going to be a great game, and I think the Chargers will bounce back at home. Give me Los Angeles 29-26 in a high-scoring game. I think they're going to be fed up after that loss to the Giants thing. Jim Harbaugh's going to have his guys ready to go. And yeah, I think the Chargers win by 3. Jason?
In LA, I don't know who's gonna really have home field advantage here because anytime there's a game in SoFi Stadium, there's a lot of away supporters that come to town. But I believe that the Chargers will find a way to win this game. Washington, I don't know. Jaden Daniels or not, they haven't convinced me otherwise. They're still pretty banged up. I mean, Bill Krosky-Merritt's still got to find a way to be the leading rusher on the team. He wasn't that last week. But I'll go the Chargers, and hopefully Ladd McConkey gets himself into the conversation on the team right and the offense right now. But I'll go to the Chargers 28-24.
Eli?
Well, I am going to go here with the Chargers here, 26-23. I think in this situation, this game, it really depends on how Jaden Daniels is when he returns. Is he healthy? Is he not healthy? How does he play? How does he return? And I think that is going to be the ultimate factor. I think Chargers are hungry. They want the win.
All right, next up, let's go to Buffalo for Sunday Night Football. 8:20 on NBC, a divisional matchup on Sunday Night Football. We've got the Patriots facing the Bills. 8:20 on NBC. Buffalo is wearing their rivalry uniforms. They're all white uniforms, basically trying to create a blizzard atmosphere. Even though the high in Buffalo on Sunday is like 77, so I'm not really sure if that makes much sense. But anyways, the Bills are favored by 8.5. But I mean, you just look at the way they played the last 2 weeks. I'm not really sure if they deserve to be favored by that much. Now, granted, I still think they'll win. But I think they're only going to win by 3, 24-21. I just really like the way this Patriots team has played. They're 2-2, but they could definitely be 3-1, even 4-0. Drake May gets better and better every single week. The Patriots defense has looked pretty good the last 2 weeks. They turned the ball over 5 times, or I'm sorry, they forced several turnovers on the Steelers. They turned the ball over 5 times. That's why they lost. But and they followed that up by scoring 42 points. I think this team is starting to turn a corner. And I think they're going to go to Buffalo and compete. But I still think that the Bills will win. Eli.
I am going in this one, Buffalo 32-14. Lock it up for my lock of the week. Buffalo's
It's a
going to
bold
take care of
lock. How about you,
business.
Jason?
Yeah. Before I get to that, I know we're live here and Thursday Night Football is happening. The Niners are in the red zone up 10, 17-7, but Mac Jones just got drilled by Byron Young and he was grabbing his Achilles. They just cut to commercial. It does not look good for Mac Jones. He was in pain and I don't know what's going on in San Fran anymore. But what? Curtis Rourke, IU quarterback, is the third quarterback.
IU alum Curtis Rourke is going to be in the game.
Hey, President's news. Go Hoosiers here. Mac Jones looks like he's definitely coming out of that game. But anyway, Sunday Night Football. It'll be tough. Patriots, I feel like they play in the cold too, like Buffalo. So there's not really a weather element here. Bills Mafia is loud, but I feel like Patriots are in a much better spot than what they are usually used to when they go to play Buffalo. So I'll take Buffalo 32-28.
All right. I just want to say that Indiana building's probably going crazy right now that you have an Indiana alum.
Yeah.
I don't know. Curtis Rourke is looking great, and he's looking happy right now.
Oh, no, it's
I'm
Adrian
sure.
Martinez. I'm sorry. He's their backup. Boo.
Oh, America. I am
okay.
sorry.
I'm
Everybody was-
sorry for spreading
Dude, it was
misinformation.
like hyped up and everything.
But anyways,
okay.
final game of the week. This could be the best. This has the chance to be the best game of the week. The Chiefs are going to go to Jacksonville to face the Jaguars on Monday Night Football, 8:15 on ABC and ESPN. I mean, the Jaguars are 3-1. They've got a chance to really make a name for themselves here on Monday Night Football. Meanwhile, the Chiefs are looking to get back to over 500. The Jaguars are obviously a popular pick this week, but I just can't pick them against the Chiefs. I think that Chiefs defense is going to really cause some problems for the Jags offense, and I just got to think that Patrick Mahomes is going to have answers for the Jags defense. The Chiefs offense will not turn the ball over 3 times. So I think the Chiefs are going to win this game 20-16, and I think they're going to get to over 500, and it's going to be a tough loss for Jacksonville, but they should feel happy if they compete in this game. So give me the Jags. How about you, Eli?
Well, the Chiefs are 0-2 to start the season. Now all of a sudden they're winning games. Well, because number one, they play the Giants. And then, last week they played the Ravens that were sloppy. But you know what? This Jacksonville team looks super promising. It looks so promising that for my upset pick of the week, give me the Jacksonville Jaguars 21-18 to win the game.
Alrighty then, Jason.
I'm going to go agree right here. We're all drinking the Jaguars Kool-Aid right now. I think they look great. I think whatever that field's called now, Everbank, whatever we call it. But, whatever we call it. It's going to be a ruckus crowd there. Liam Cohen is a very smart-minded coach. The team looks great. I will say, this is going to be a close game, and it's all a matter of if Trevor Lawrence is going to be able to handle pressure against the Steve Spagnuolo blitz, because he's going to do that once or twice in this game. And the Steve Spagnuolo blitz is brutal. So it's a matter of if the Chiefs offense clicks. I mean, it clicked last week against a struggling Ravens team, but Jacksonville is on a high right now. Jacksonville, give me them 31-24. I'll go by a touchdown. I feel it.
Ooh.
Alrighty, well, that is going to do it for our Week 4 recap and Week 5 predictions here on the 12th Horseshoe Podcast. Thank you to Jason Lee for joining us tonight. Join Eli on Sports with Mono tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. with Jim. Saturday. Oh, yeah, it's Thursday, right? Not Friday. Okay, so
Tonight's
Saturday
Thursday.
morning, 10 a.m. with Jim Monahan. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We will see you next week for our Week 5 recap and our Week 6 picks.